Okay, let's get real for a second. Are you totally sick of studying for hours and hours, only to feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere? What if I told you there's a cheat code? Seriously, the top students, they have a secret strategy for acing their exams without pulling all-nighters. And today, we are breaking that exact strategy down. Come on, you've been there, right? You spend weeks trying to cram every single word from the textbook into your brain. You cover the entire syllabus, but then you get the exam paper and it feels like you only knew a tiny fraction of what they asked. It is without a doubt the most frustrating feeling ever. And that feeling, it leads to what I call the all-nighter problem. You know the drill, that downward spiral of panic-fueled cramming that we try to convince ourselves is just working hard. But what if all that work is pointed in the completely wrong direction? I mean, think about it. You're up all night with this giant textbook, running on nothing but coffee and pure desperation. You were putting in 100% of the hours, but the results? They just don't add up. You're working hard, for sure, but you're not working smart. There's gotta be a better way. And guess what? There is. It's called the 80-20 rule, and it's pretty much the answer to the all-nighter problem. And no, this isn't just some vague theory. It is a proven principle that will completely change the way you study. This is your new secret weapon. So what is this thing? Well, the fancy name for it is the Pareto principle, but the idea itself is shockingly simple. It basically says that for most things in life, about 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your effort. This works in business, it works in sports, and trust me, it definitely works for studying. The whole game here is to shift your focus. So instead of getting lost in the weeds with the trivial many, all those little details that probably won't even be on the test, you zero in on the vital few. These are the big ticket items, the core ideas that give you the most bang for your buck. And here's what that looks like. See that? A tiny, focused 20% input of your energy can create a massive 80% of your results. This isn't about being lazy or studying less. It's about putting your energy where it actually counts, where it's going to move the needle on your final grade. So the big question is, how do you do this? How in the world do you find that magic 20%? Well, it's not magic at all. It's strategy. So let's break down the game plan, step by step. Okay, here's your 3-step mission. Step 1, be a detective. Gather your data. That means getting your hands on as many past exam papers as you can find. Your school's online portal, the library, these places are gold mines. Step 2, look for clues. Go through those papers and find the patterns. What topics, what types of questions, what chapters show up again and again. Make a list. And step 3, zero in. Once you see those recurring themes, you've found it. That's your vital few. That's the 20% you need to know inside and out. And let me be super clear about this. This is not about guessing or just getting lucky. This is a strategic, data-driven mission. You're literally using the past to predict the future with a pretty high level of accuracy. You're taking back control of your own studying. All right, all this theory is great, but let's make it real. I want to show you a perfect example of how this works in the real world, and you'll see just how powerful it is. So imagine you've got an English lit exam on the horizon. The syllabus says there are 10 different poems you have to study. Now, the old way of doing things would be to try and learn a little bit about all 10 of them, right? You'd spread yourself way too thin and end up totally stressed out. Okay, look at this. On the left, you've got the old way. You're stressing out trying to remember something about all 10 poets, and you end up with, average results. But on the right, that's the 80-20 way. You've done your homework, you've analyzed the past papers, and you discovered that 2 specific poets show up every single year. So you pour all your energy into mastering just those 2. Now you can walk into that exam feeling confident, with deep knowledge, ready to get a top-tier score. See the difference? This is really what it all boils down to. Just remember this. 80% of your exam questions are probably going to come from just 20% of the topics. Your job is not to learn everything. Your job is to find and master that critical 20%. Which brings us to the big takeaway. I know, everyone says study smarter, not harder, but the 80-20 rule, this is how you actually do it. This is the practical application of that idea. Look, as a student, your time is literally your most valuable asset. It's priceless. The 80-20 rule isn't about being lazy. It's about being a super smart investor with your time and energy. You're putting your effort where it's going to give you the highest possible return. Better grades, way less stress, and hey, maybe even some more free time. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Think about your next exam, your next big project. What is that vital 20% that's going to get you 80% of the way there? Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find it, focus on it, and absolutely master it. That's how you win the game.